Gisborne City lies on the east coast of New Zealand. It's the first city in the world to see the sun each day and is the gateway to New Zealand's rugged East Cape region. This is the setting for round 4 of the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship. This region is home to one of world rallying's most formidable stages, the mighty Motu, which cuts through the heart of the East Cape, starting on the beautiful east coast near Aporiki and finishing in the tiny settlement of Motu. But that's just part of this rugged Fuchs Gisborne rally, and it's sure to produce a huge challenge to New Zealand's top rally drivers. "2015 has been a season of full-on action in the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship. Ken Block arrived in New Zealand and created a storm with his Focus Hybrid Function Hoon vehicle. He led the way at Rally Whangarei, winning 12 of the 16 stages. Kiwi drivers Ben Hunt, David Holder put up a brave challenge, but Holder's rally came to a crashing end early on day 2. Hunt survived to take second place as the championship headed south to Dunedin, and a welcome return to New Zealand's WRC star, Hayden Paddon. Block was the early leader until a fuel issue stopped his car on stage 4. Hunt took over and looked dominant on the stages, but early on day 2 he punctured, lost the lead to Phil Campbell, who had made consistent pace through the 2 days. But Hayden Paddon had put in some incredible times in historic class Escort BDA. He charged over the last 3 stages to take an historic win and the outright rally title, just showing how skilled the WRC star has become. Round 3 at Canterbury started with night stages. This time Hunt drove a faultless round, clearing away with a 1-minute advantage overnight, which he extended to a rally win in the daylight stages. Phil Campbell's second place keeps him very much in touch in the championship, and Emma Gilmore took her Suzuki Maxi car to its first podium, a real breakthrough for the new generation AP4 rally cars. So looking at the points table after 3 rounds, Van Cleek outstanding in 5th in the historic Mazda RX-7. Featherston, Mr. Consistent this year, moves to 3rd, but the battle for the championship very much between Phil Campbell and Ben Hunt.
We want to get to the end of tomorrow and focus on, the championship lead. So there's not a huge gap there, but we want to try and extend on it. It's a big day of racing. I think we do 140k, and I think Whangarei will be another challenging one. It's 38 or 39k long, so that's got a bit of everything in there, from really fast sections to just as twisty as it is on the Motu. So I think just focusing on the Motu might catch a few people out, but you've got to have a good consistent day and should be good.
Phil, it's been a fantastic, consistent run. We're now launching into the second half of the championship. Is this Motu stage, is that going to be a chance to maybe push on and get a good time and make a break in the rally?
Yeah, definitely it could be. We've just got to make sure we get through that first stage cleanly tomorrow morning, and if we're in a good position then, yeah, definitely I think it'd be worth having a push through there, because with that many corners there is time to be made up. But in saying that, we've got to make sure we get to the end of it as well.
Matt Summerfield has been hard at work to repair his Subaru after a crash at Canterbury.
Made a mistake at the last round in Canterbury and put the car on its roof. So the boys and everyone's done a mega job to get the car back to awesome condition for this one.
Motu's going to be a big challenge. Will you adjust the way you attack the rally?
Yeah, definitely. The Motu will have to make me think about my driving a bit more and keep it pretty tidy. It's a stage that can easily cost you the rally.
A podium for Emma Gilmore should act as a stepping stone for her in the development of her Suzuki Maxi rally car.
Looking forward to building on the momentum we had at Canterbury. It was still a frustrating event at times, but the car was there was still lots of positives there. We had some really fast first, quickest in the splits and stuff. So yeah, we've made some more changes again for the car this weekend, and I think that'll really improve its handling again. We keep improving the car, and we've made a change in the centre diff for this event, which should hopefully be the change in the right direction, which will help in the likes of Motu, because it'll be a really long stage if it hasn't helped. But we're confident that it's going to be a good thing, and I'm looking forward to the first stage, Rekaroa, and getting into the flow of things.
As the sun rises over Gisborne, rain is clearing, hopefully setting up a perfect day 1 as the cars gather for a 7:30 a.m. start. Ben Hunt first on the road, so as he leaves the city, let's check out the B&T stage preview on this Fuchs Rally of Gisborne. Rakaroa is one of the 3 famous New Zealand rally stages to be used on the rally. The stage starts with a climb through farmland to a steep ridge with spectacular drops. The stage tightens and the surface softens to a difficult section which will catch out a few. Through the Wharekopai intersection, the stage speeds up at the end with a long straight which will see maximum speed over the finish line. And the name Rakaroa brings back some great memories of Subaru drivers for the WRC, McRae, Burns and Bourne, gone but not forgotten. And Ben Hunt in the Winger Subaru enters the stage. He's ready to write a new rally history here perhaps. Rally expert Glenn Inkster joins us now, and Glenn, this stage has lost none of its challenge for these top drivers.
It certainly is a very technical stage. And there's a split time there, 7:10.8, so that's a good start. Just take a look at those drops, so you want to get the notes right. That's huge drops from the road.
Back on the start line of the Fuchs Rally Gisborne, Phil Campbell in the Let's Mitsubishi Evo 9. The big question here, can he challenge the Subarus, which have been so good in that tight, twisty stuff?
The Subarus have always been known for handling exceptionally well. Mitzi's more of a power car, but Phil's going to really have to push on and try and do a good time.
Here's the first split, 7:09.3, so Campbell in front by 1.3 seconds.
That's a great start. Look how twisty it is. That's disappointing.
Back to Ben Hunt, first in the stage. Let's see what his time will be. The stage record set back in 2003 by Jeff Argyle, 16.55.
Cut 5 right plus. It's only a few K later. 5K to go. Yeah, I got no brake pedal. Yeah, believe 6 left plus 50.
You just heard Ben say no brake pedal. A long stage, the fluid's probably got a bit hot. The pedal will be soft and going to the floor. He's still got some brakes, but they're not working as well as they should.
So a real challenge this stage as always in Rally Gisborne. Stage time 17:10.6. So the question is now, can Phil Campbell make up the time that he lost?
Far to the finish? Not far. 8 right, through finish, 250.
That's full revs in top gear. That's 200 plus kilometres an hour.
But he's 24.7 down on Hunt.
Well, that's disappointing.
Yeah, we were going real good at the start of the stage, eh?
You're going so fast.
Third of the championship so far, Graham Featherston rewarded with third on the road here. But still 38 seconds slower through the stage than Hunt. Looks like it's still Subaru country. Next on the road, Lance Williams and co-driver Raymond Crunch Bennett. Crunch, a veteran of these stages. In fact, he was with Jeff Argyle when they set that record back in 2003.
Short 7 right minus into a 7 left minus.
Crunch has just been around for so long and he's got so much experience. He's done a very good job of bringing Lance along at the right speed.
Split time 7:25.6, so a bit off the pace.
They have gone out on super soft tyres though, so it's just going to take him a little bit of time to get used to that. It's different to what he's used to, so he's just finding the grip levels.
41 seconds slower than Hunt. Lance, bit of work to do. Matt Summerfield looking forward to getting out on the stages after that big crash on stage 2 of Canterbury.
And it was so early on in that rally. He's lacked some stage miles in Canterbury, and of course he had an engine problem in Otago. So all the other drivers have completed a lot of the stages. Matt just really needs to get some stage miles because he's doing a very good job.
3 right over crest.
17 seconds down in the split, so a cautious start for Matt.
That's expected, having had a crash last time out. It's always going to take a few stages just to get your rhythm back. And of course confidence.
Emma Gilmore next up, and alongside her, Anthony McLaughlin, very experienced Australian co-driver.
That's his job. He's a full-time professional co-driver, so he goes all the way around the world co-driving for different rally drivers, and of course that's going to bring a lot of experience inside that car.
Split time 17.19.5, third fastest so far.
She talked about making some changes to the setup of the diff. It certainly looks like it's working.
Down to the line, 17.34.3, that's second fastest for Emma Gilmore. Right, Andrew Hawkswood in the second of the AP4 cars, the Mazda 2. Change of co-driver for him today, partnered by Malcolm Peden.
You got the camera on? Yep.
We talked about Anthony McLaughlin being full-time professional. Well, Mal might not be full-time professional, but he certainly does a lot of rallies in this country.
Whoa. Oh, sounds like this stage is proving very slippery for the drivers. Look at that. Hawkswood all over the place.
It doesn't get a bigger moment than that without going off.
17:49, so 39 seconds down on Hunt. Dylan Turner back on the stages after missing round 3. He made the trip from Auckland overnight to get to the start, so not surprising, he was just 9th fastest. Sloane Cox joining the championship for the first time in 2015, partnered by Aaron Kyle.
Well, Sloane did Repco Race to the Sky earlier this year in a hill climb special, a lot lighter and a lot more power, so it's going to take him some time to gel with Aaron Kyle, to also get used to a rally car again. Pace notes especially, just look at those drops again.
Cox 10th fastest through the stage. Right, he's the New Zealand Class 5 rally champion, but Darren Galbraith's seasons didn't really get up to speed until round 3 at Canterbury.
Flat 7 left minus.
Class 5 is a class in the championship for older cars, and in this case they run a slightly bigger inlet restrictor, so make a little bit more power. But he's certainly doing a good job with his old car.
Flat 6 left, flat 7 right 100.
4th fastest for Galbraith on stage 1, so a positive start to the day. He also easily leads the Class 5 division here.
Minus opens hug.
With the speed he showed at Canterbury and the speed he's got on the stage here, he's really showing he is up for the full championship.
We haven't seen the Mitsubishi WRC Proto of Clint Cunningham since round 1 at Whangarei, but he was back and 11th fastest through this stage.
Well, he's certainly got a good co-driver. Goldie in the co-driver's seat, I used to rally with him for a lot of years and he does a very good job.
So after one 25-kilometre stage, Hunt has a 23-point second lead over Gilmore and Campbell. The questions remain about the damage to Campbell's transmission as they head to the village at Mudify for service.
With rallying, there's so many things to get right. Ben's done a very good stage time in stage 1, but here we are at service. The underground is very, very soft. The jack doesn't quite have enough lift in it, and normally they'd be putting the car up onto the jack stands, but it just won't reach, so they're going to have to do a little bit of improvisation, do the basic spanner checks, but obviously they can't get right underneath the car because it's just not safe to do so.
But lots of work going on under Phil Campbell's car as the team investigate a possible diff issue.
Emma, it's a beautiful sunny day here in Matawai, and what a great start to the rally for you.
Yeah, that first stage was pretty slippery. We sort of took off and I was like, holy shit, there was just no grip, and you went into the first couple of corners. But obviously it's sort of the same for everyone, and I think because it was just such a slick surface, there was no gravel on it at all, so it made it really slippery.
But a lot of drivers are now apprehensive about what lies ahead, the Motu.
It was bad enough yesterday in the recce car, so we're just going to try and get through there, and just manage our pace through there. There's places where you can push, but probably not worth it, Just try and get to the end.
Phil, the rest of the field is working its way around to the start of the Motu, but not you.
Nah, unfortunately the problem we had in the previous stage, something's gone wrong inside the front diff, so we've got no drive to the front left-hand wheel. So we've made the call to not go out into the Motu. It's probably going to do more damage to the gearbox, and the car's not very easy to drive at the moment, and we don't want to risk having a crash in there. So decided to pull the pin, unfortunately.
With technology these days, the rally drivers and co-drivers get so used to having information at their fingertips, just as soon as they finish the stages, they can find out how well they've done, if they've been up at the splits or down at the splits. Here at Matawai, it's just a little bit different. There's absolutely no cell phone coverage at all, and we're having to resort to the old-fashioned phone box just to find out who's doing what in this rally.
Yes, technology is great when it works, but coming up, who will be the master of the Motu in 2015? This is Fuchs Rally Gisborne, and this is the amazing rugged bush that the mighty Motu cuts through. It's been 9 years since the stage has been used in the New Zealand Rally Championship. It was back in 1994 that a young Scot by the name of Colin McRae cemented his name on the stage in WRC history.
the mighty Motu stage, 44.80 kilometres, the longest stage in the World Rally Championships and one of the toughest, the Mind Bender, the car breaker. And Colin McRae had won 8 out of the 13 stages so far. He was set for another great drive. Of course, this time last year, he set up victory by winning this stage. And once again, some sensational McRae magic gave him a brilliant time through the stage. 37.21 seconds. Unbelievable.
36 seconds faster on the stage this year than last year. I spoke to Dave Richards, the manager of ProDrive, at the end of the stage, and he said there was 2 factors in this incredible time. Firstly, it was the new Impreza, much quicker than the last year's Legacy. And secondly, the tyres, Pirelli tyres as opposed to Michelin tyres this year. And those new Pirellis were doing the job.
And look at the variety and conditions too, the nature of this beast. I mean, it's fast and flat at the bottom, but she's a big hill climb at the top.
Yeah, this stage starts out really fast on the bottom and very, very steep up the hill and a very, very fast descent. And then it tightens right up again. The surface is hard 1 minute, very soft the next.
And I suppose the choice of tyres here critical?
Oh, for sure. You know, I think Colin's picked on a narrow, soft tyre again this year, than the same as he did last year. Last year it paid dividends, and this year it has too.
What about the driving style of Colin McRae here? I mean, he's under so much pressure, but really a magnificent performance.
Colin's got a great feel for the car. If you watch carefully, you can see how he puts the car very, very steeply into the corner, right into the apex, and drives the car out very straight. Makes the car very fast in a straight line.
The Resport, fantastic pictures from the chopper, taking you through the mighty Motu with Colin McRae, 37.21. That was the time to beat.
Yes, some great memories there, so let's take a look at how it looks this time. 46.48 kilometres, starts near the east coast. A few fast kilometres along the flat riverbed, but then it climbs into the first summit at 14.6 k's. The stage dives down to the valley floor, then there's the famous water crossing at the half distance, and then the stage really starts. It's a rugged turn-upon-turn, and recent logging in the area has left some big ruts. It's a slog to the top and then the steep downhill race over the final 3 k's to the stage end. Perfect conditions too as we take to the air with the Gull bird's eye view of the mighty Motu. This is the best way to check out the stage, Glenn, the easiest way, isn't it?
Oh, it's a fantastic shot. This is Ben's first go at this road, very famous road, and Ben is quickly becoming one of the great rally drivers this country's produced.
10 minutes 58.8, our first split time. And with Phil Campbell out, Graham Featherston is next through.
He's earned this position on the road, really working well with new co-driver Dave Davenport.
Coming to the split time, and Featherston is 26.6 down on Hunt. Lance Williams next through the stage, co-driving of course with the veteran Crunch Bennett, his 15th time through the mighty Motu.
That's better. 5 left minus and 5 right plus.
Sometimes I just want to say boo-hoo, mate.
6 left plus, 5 right minus, don't cut where the people are. 30. 7 right minus, you hurt my feelings, 30.
Good bit of humour there too, can help. What's his split time? 18.9 down on Hunt.
He's a little bit down on time, but this is his first go. He's just keeping him relaxed because it's a long way to go.
Oh, big tits. Got your attention.
I thought you actually seen something.
They'd only be on a count here, mate. 4 right.
That's an udder, okay?
6 left into 3 right. Oh, look, locals. She's got a bigger beard than he has. 80 to a 5 left plus, 30.
Matt Summerfield taking a conservative approach. Of course, he was recovering from the big crash at round 3, but unfortunate to pick up a 20-second time penalty after service here.
That just means they were 2 minutes late leaving service. They just had a few niggles to get sorted on the car. Big stage, you don't want to go into a stage like this with anything going wrong in the car.
Right, coming down to the split time for Matt Summerfield. And he's plus 18.5, so very similar to Williams' time. Emma Gilmore holding second going into the stage, and she was right on the pace at the first split time as we take a look at that Gull bird's eye view.
That's just a fantastic camera shot. It's really neat seeing the Suzuki through this stage, and she's gaining in confidence. Podium last rally out, good start to the rally this time.
And she's got that race face on as you take a look. The eyes full of focus, Emma Gilmore. Coming up to that second split time, plus 15.2, but that's the second fastest so far.
5 left minus 30.
Andrew Hawkswood stated that this is not his favourite stage, and I wonder why.
Andrew's strength is fantastic car control. Big, wide, fast, brave stuff. This just doesn't suit him, and he just doesn't like it.
And then a 5 right minus, tighten 3.
Hitting a rock won't help him either, but a split time, 18.8. Right on the same pace as Williams and Summerfield. Right, back at the halfway point of the mighty Mode 2 stage, Ben Hunt enters the Ford. Starts what is the toughest test of this great stage.
It does get a lot tighter and twistier from here, but just getting through that Ford is a challenge. There's a lot of water in there.
120. Keep into left 50. Keep into left 50.
Lots of twos, lots of ones.
Look at this fantastic shot from the Gull bird's eye view. The only way to see the mighty Motu is from the chopper, as these cars just angle their way around this tight, twisty, rugged go track.
Keep in 6 left over finish 100.
Well, this is it. No records today, but Hunt will set a time. Down at the finish, 41.03.4.
Holy smokes. Yeah, she's a good long stage. My back.
Ben, that's probably the longest time you've spent in a special stage.
Yeah, it is. It's, you know, going into there, I knew it was going to be a long stage, but I didn't really realise that it was going to be that hard on the body. And, you know, every couple of kilometres you have to wipe the sweat out from the top of your brow. But it is an awesome stage. I can see why there's so much hype over it over the last few weeks.
And it was a good run through there?
Yeah, you know, it's we pushed quite hard at the start, and in the slippery stuff in the middle, we just took it easy and had a bit of a nudge down here. And you know, there's a lot of stuff in the way. I can't imagine our front bumper's looking that good.
It's great to have the stage back. Graham Featherston picking up his pace over the second half of the stage. He posted a time 42.32.
Feathers, the car's in one piece, but was that tough work for an old boy?
It was hard work towards the end. I thought she was never going to end, and probably about the 2/3 mark, we were like halfway over a bank, just kept it up, and she pulled back, and all good, yeah.
And Double D didn't run out of breath with the pace notes?
No, it was all good. She's pretty slow stuff in there, though, eh?
Lance Williams attacking the Ford.
Well, there's some time to be made there.
Through forward. 2 left here through forward. 60.
Oh, in my window.
Short 6 right, keep it under 4 left minus.
Looks easy from the air, but from the driver's point of view, this is absolutely incredible stuff.
It's just such a busy stage. They don't get anything above 4th gear. The notes, it's so tight, so twisty. It's a real workout for the drivers. It's hot, just tough work, but so rewarding to get to the end.
And then left kink into a 5 right minus.
Over 40k, so it's a real backbreaker.
5 right minus, into a 5 left.
Fitness absolutely key for the drivers.
5 right plus and 3 left.
So has all that hard work paid off?
100. 6 left, keep it now, exit 100. To a 5 right left.
42.01, a minute down on Hunt. Matt Summerfield, close to Williams after our first split.
And the stage is just so long. They're in the cars for over 40 minutes.
80.
Just think of the concentration and the physical effort.
Coming down to the stage end.
Right plus, don't go wide.
42.25, so he's lost a little time to Williams. Emma Gilmore cautiously through the Ford Glen.
In some ways, it's a home-built car. She just wants to be careful water doesn't end up going anywhere where it shouldn't and stopping it. It's a long way from anywhere, the middle of the Motu.
Exactly. Stage time, 42.52.8, so a slower second half for Emma Gilmore. Right, back with that Gull bird's eye view, Andrew Hawkswood in the Mazda 2.
What you can't see from the chopper, just how deep the ruts are. There's been logging trucks through, big rough road. And just look how slow the road is.
It's been a tough stage in the Mazda, but the car survived hitting that rock. Now let's see what the time is going to be.
7 left minus again, 150.
Wrestling with the car down to the finish line.
100, repeat, 6 left, 100. 5 right plus.
Close to Gilmore, 42 minutes, 42.6. That's 5th fastest on the stage, now 5th overall. Darren Galbraith struggling. Second half of the stage, he picked up a puncture, was trying to make it up without stopping.
Left opens, 50. Puncture. I've had it for 15k. 5 left, hug. B5 left, hug. 30. 6 right minus. 5 left.
Darren, the car's crabbing as you're coming up to the finish line here. Obviously a tyre down, but do you think there's any other damage?
Hopefully not. No, just a puncture, 15k to go. Decided it must have been a slow leak because it got worse, so we just decided to drive on it. Wasn't stopping there. There's nowhere to stop anyway.
Brian Green, another veteran of the Mode 2 stage. He's made good progress though.
2 right. 4 left.
But that was about to end.
8 right over small crest, 30. Uh-oh.
What's happening here, Glenn?
Stop here, I think.
Yeah. What do you suppose we've done?
Don't know. No drive.
It's the diffs. It's obviously broken.
That's the worst possible place to stop, at the top of the motor, is it?
It's just so narrow, they want to try and find a safe place to stop and obviously let other cars get through.
It's a bit of a hard ask to do for the co-driver.
That's a bit rough, Greenie.
Well, not the only one to strike problems. Dylan Turner was fastest in the first split on the stage, but then he broke a drive shaft and slowed before the Ford. Sloane Cox next on the stage, and it's not long before he catches and passes Turner. And that was just the beginning of Turner's problems.
That's just ripped the sump guard, or the front of it's come down and turned it into a grader. That's not going anywhere.
With Galbraith slowed in the stage, the Class 5 battle closed up. Round 1 winner, Kingsley Jones, fastest of the group, now just 6 seconds behind Galbraith. Daniel Walker, also impressive, despite a couple of spins in the stage.
We've watched Daniel on the stages this year, and he certainly does have a wild style. Very spectacular. Just a little too spectacular that time, though.
Matt Jensen in the Eco Light Evo also impressed here. Never been on the stage before, but he was second in the class, 2.1 down on Jones. Here's a man living his dream. Clint Cunningham grew up watching the WRC. Now he's driving his proto WRC Mitsubishi on the Motu.
Well, Clint's a relative novice at this level, but he does a very good job with presentation. The car's just awesome. Sequential gearbox, all the cool bits. Who wouldn't want to have a go at that stage in that car?
Yeah, go ahead, make my day. Richard Bateman now 5th in Class 5. Dave Strong flying in the Motu. His fastest ever run through the stage after years competing in the 2-wheel drive class, now 16th overall. David Holder taking on co-driving duties for Jonathan Shapley in the Evo 4, holding their own too against similar cars like Tyler Radovan. Max Bailey started the day with no limited slip diff. Not ideal in these conditions, yet he was pushing hard. But Marcus Van Klink really controlling his historic and the 2-wheel drive battle. Outstanding 10th outright at the stage. Regan Ross had entered 2-wheel drive after a slow start on stage 1. He was now 3rd in the 2-wheel drive class. Anthony Jones from Wales, just another 6 seconds back in the battle of the escorts. But don't discount former champ Brian Stokes, another veteran of the Motu stage. It may be the smallest car in the field, but Justin Glavish showing his heels to more than a few competitors.
7 right,
Glavish very close on both stages to the historic RX3 of Andy Martin.
Andy's a relative newcomer to rallying, and Justin Glavish, he drives that Starlet faster than anyone in the world could. A real giant-killing performance by the start.
16, 6 left plus.
So after the Motu, just 2 casualties, incredibly, Campbell and Turner. But one clear winner, Ben Hunt now 1 minute 38 clear of Williams, Featherston and Gilmore. Darren Galbraith dropping to 8th, Jones just 6.8 behind. Van Klink leads two-wheel drive.
Lance, you made a big push for second overall for the rally.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. It was a pretty hard stage, but we pushed through it and kept the consistency up and we got to the end.
That was the first time through that stage for you, but of course Crunch has done that a lot of times. Does that help?
Yeah, well, it's his 15th time going through it and he's finished every time, so I was pretty happy.
Good to keep the clean run going for him then?
Yeah, definitely.
Emma, that was a long way. How did the stage go?
The Wee Suzuki went really well, actually. We really enjoyed the first part, and just near the end I think I was getting a bit tired, and sort of it's a struggle when you're not sort of getting up onto speed. The car becomes harder to move and that, so yeah, I got a bit tired, and yeah, we were just a bit slow in the last part. It'll be interesting to see the splits, because I was pretty happy with the first half, but yeah, I needed more porridge this morning.
Greenie, you didn't quite master the Motu this time, but it wasn't your doing.
No, we've got a mechanical problem in the centre diff by the feel of it. I've been over here many times. We've always finished the stage, and I thought today the Mighty Motu had actually claimed us, but we're just lucky enough that there was only one hill left going up, and we managed to get over top of that, and we've got here through the end, but I'm not sure whether we can fix it or not, but time will tell.
Time for another Kiwi classic, Whakareaus. No cakewalk at 39 kilometres. Very fast at the start, but then it tightens uphill before a steep drop to the first ford. Concrete base, so it can be hit at pace. But the second ford has a sting with a ditch to be avoided on the outside of the corner. There's also a tricky one-lane bridge that needs care before a fast downhill finish. And wow, take a look at the pace of Ben Hunt on the stage.
He's certainly not backing off.
Keep in long 4, right minus.
The drivers often say this stage is the really good one to enjoy. Oh, look at that pig.
Where's the shotgun when you want it? Piggy. 4, 5 left.
They really like getting into this one after the tight and twisty Motu.
And he brings home the bacon with a time of 23:57.1. Graham Featherston retired with a broken diff. Lance Williams defending his second place here. Important for Crunch Bennett to keep him focused, but his time 42 seconds down on Hunt.
Oh, I thought I was going to go round then.
Emma Gilmore another 6.4 seconds back, so none of the front runners seem to be able to match Ben Hunt here. Matt Summerfield slowed on the stage with a broken gear lever, but he was able to get to the end, 6th fastest time.
Something gear related, it's all right.
Okay, big grease short 4 right minus.
Something's happened at the base of the gear lever, so just did most of that stage in 3rd gear, and we've been nursing some brake problems since the morning, but they're holding up all right, but just the fluid leak is getting a bit worse.
Brake problems too for Andrew Hawkswood, still managed to time 17 seconds off Hunt.
4 right plus. The old brakes are a bit shit. Okay, drive you what you got. 4 right plus this one. 6 left minus.
And Darren Galbraith charging back into contention. 2nd fastest here, now back up to 6th. Stage 3 sees Hunt extend the lead over Williams. Hawkswood moves to 3rd as we head to the final test. Special stage 4, Whare Kopai is another big stage, 38.85 kilometres, a real challenge to finish the day. It starts on the Rakaroa stage, then turns left at the hairpin at 20 kilometres, heading west towards Gisborne. It's more of the same too, tight twisty roads that the drivers had to battle all day long. In the morning, this road had been very slippery, but now dry. It's nicely swept. Let's take a look head to head. It's the challenge between Ben Hunt on the left and Lance Williams on the right.
Short 6 left plus believe 80.
This
Rock,
is 60
long
plus
6 right.
80 to a 6 right.
Long 6 right minus
Use your
30.
6 right in here with the rocks are 30 to a 6 right minus.
Long 7 left
30.
times to keep in flight.
Also battling head to head, Andrew Hawkswood and Emma Gilmore, the two new generation rally cars.
Well, Emma was quicker in the morning, but Andrew's really fighting back this afternoon. It's great to see both these new cars being so reliable and really starting to pick up the pace as well.
6 left plus.
What we have to remember, the Subarus and the Mitsubisis are getting quite old now. These two cars here really are the future of the sport, and as they further refine them, they're going to end up being faster. And they certainly look spectacular and go good.
Keeping them honest, Matt Summerfield, losing time on stage 3, seems to have ignited the fire in his car. He was on a mission here.
Matt started the day a little bit slowly, just getting over that crash. He's obviously got his mojo back and he's going really well this afternoon. They work well together too, don't they?
Then 2 right. 20.
But after a promising day, Darren Galbraith sidelined with a mechanical breakage.
Well, we come down over a bit of a jump there, and as we've landed, the wheels parted company with the car. So it looks like we've broken all the wheel studs for some reason. So not sure why. So we managed to park it in the ditch here, and that's that.
Coming up, we'll take the top 5 home through the second half and wrap up the rally finish when we return on Fuchs Rally Gisborne. Welcome back. Before the battle for the top 5, let's check out the finishers at Fuchs Rally Gisborne. Sloane Cox improving to 6th overall in his return. Dan Walker finished 2nd in Class 5, but rolled late in the stage, but still made it to the finish in a bit of a beat-up condition. That meant Kingsley and Waverley Jones scored their 2nd Class 5 win for the season in the Denture Clinic Evo 7. Dave Strong improving to 10th outright in the final stage in his S2000 Honda-powered Fiesta. Let's call it a Jane Fonda. Clint Cunningham, though, had more fuel injection issues, which slowed him, but he did score his first finish in the WRC Proto Evo.
6 right plus, 30. 6 left, tightens long, 5 left plus.
A near moment for Hugh Spence on his way to 3rd in Class 5. Just 11 seconds ahead of Jonathan Walker. Tyler Radovan picked up 5th in class after Jonathan Shapley retired. Brian Green losing 17 minutes of that Motu service, but he made it home. As did Simon Bell in his tribute to Colin McRae's WRC from 1993. Championship rookie Brindley Smith also scoring his first finish. The two-wheel drive battle went to Marcus van Klink. The Mazda power just too much for the competition. Despite no limited slip diff, Max Bailey actually closed within 3 seconds of Van Klink in 2nd. Regan Ross another 2 minutes back in 3rd. Anthony Jones out of the rally with a fuel issue again. So Brian Stokes, 4th in the two-wheel drive class and 2nd in the Historics. Justin Glavish, 17th with honours for the small car class and holding out his day-long battle with Andy Martin.
In a rally, you are in your classes, but ultimately you compete against everyone and against the clock. It's neat to find someone to have a day-long battle with, and it doesn't matter what class they're in. And Andy's had a great day-long battle with Justin Glavish in the little Toyota Starlet. Completely different cars, generate their speed completely differently, but so close on these stages.
Back to the top 5 now. Matt Summerfield laying down a challenge to Hawkswood and Gilmore after losing time on stage 3.
Well, what a comeback from Matt. Lost some time in the morning, but really charged through these afternoon stages. And with such a long stage for the last stage, he might just find himself on the podium.
Four right minus through finish.
Summerfield sets his target time, 26 minutes 42.7. That's under the 2012 stage record. McGilmore looking determined in the Suzuki. 12 seconds to make up on Andrew Hawkswood, but that time set by Summerfield could see her lose 4th place. Oh, she's overcooked it at the hairpin. And that's valuable time ticking away. You can tell by her reaction on the face.
It's not a lot of time, but every little second counts.
Question is, how much will it cost her? $26.59.3, that's dropped her behind Summerfield. Andrew Hawkswood on track for a podium. But will it be second or third?
Nice corner.
5 left plus.
He looks like he's enjoying it.
Bridge, long 6 left.
Stage time, 26.50, secures 3rd place. So a clean run here for Williams will secure him 2nd overall in the Fuchs Rally of Gisborne.
Well, no jokes now from Crunch. They've fought back from a slow start. Amazing 2nd overall for the rally.
Clean over bridge into a long 6 left, that's it.
26.53.1, that keeps him 9.4 seconds ahead of Hawkswood. So a close battle between 5th and 6th places, but a clear winner again. Ben Hunt looking even stronger in the 2015 New Zealand Rally Championship.
Left plus, 7 right minus, keep in long 5 left plus onto seal. Caution, 6 right over finish. Right. You're not feeling good?
Oh, not really. You should have driven.
So confirming Ben Hunt, winner of Rally Gisborne from Williams, Hawkswood and Summerfield.
Kingsley, Waverley, twice you've entered the Class 5 section of the NZRC and twice you've won it.
Yeah, it's not a bad achievement. We're pretty happy. We're very lucky today that Darren had a misfortune in the last stage. He pretty much had it in the bag. I told him before the start, it's all yours to have, and he threw it away, so we're absolutely wrapped.
Lance, 2nd overall, you just held out off Andrew Hawkswood. Great run on that last stage.
Yeah, we were just trying to keep in 2nd, trying to hold him off, and we did so in the last stage. We were trying quite hard and had a few moments, but all part of rallying, so we're happy.
You're really starting to find some good consistent speed as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's mainly just at the end of an event, but I'm trying to work on my event starting at the start of events, so we'll see how I go.
Ben, another commanding rally when this championship's starting to look pretty good.
Yeah, it is. It's I think that's probably the hardest day of racing I've actually ever done. Even though it was only 4 stages, it was 4 massive stages, and the body's feeling it now, and had a bit of a migraine at the end of that one, so it must have been concentrating pretty hard.
And it is a long way. Like other rallies have more stages, but they're short, sharp. These have been big hauls. Every stage has had massive kilometres.
Yeah, it's been huge. The smallest stage we did was 25k, and all the others were in the high 30s and 40s. So it was an enjoyable weekend. The Gisborne turned it on with its weather, and really looking forward to Coromandel now. Bit to do to the car between now and then, but at least we've got a few months.
And Ben Hunt's points haul's looking good, but he'll have to drop his worst round, so that'll bring Campbell back into contention. Big movers, Matt Summerfield and Lance Williams, and Van Klingen's a top 5 road order at the next round, where you can join us for the Coromandel Gold Rush Rally.